Well, well, well. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it
What's
going, man?
up?
How's everything with you? Good?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing actually really good. I'm very what an interesting surprise last night.
Yeah, nice W. Especially it was a
Yeah,
good response to that team meeting. We were kind of up on the fence as to how the team was going to respond, so it was nice to see them come out and get a win, especially on the road.
it really was the first win against a complete team who is a quality team in their home court. I think it was their first
First
loss
home loss, yep.
for Utah.
Crazy, first home loss, and they were actually getting booed out there for some moments of the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of that too is because there's that history. You know, we had that whole summer, which very few people talked about, the battle for Spida
Mm-hmm.
for the summer, and Danny Ainge was there watching. Be interesting. We're gonna get to all of that. We're gonna recap. We're gonna get Quis's feelings and take on the last night's game, along with previewing the upcoming match game against the Denver Nuggets, which is going to be interesting. It's a back-to-back. Denver is very close to Salt Lake, so I'm curious if they went there last night or they waited till today. I don't know what they did, but very curious to see what kind of team is actually going to show up on the court tonight. Uh, Welcome everybody. If you have never been here before, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button and drop your comments later on if you get any thoughts or drop your comments in the chat. We love the chat. We love to read them out loud. And what first thing I want to know is what was your feeling about the subbing of Obi for Randall? And I know your feelings. That's why I want.
Which time? Because I think there were two moments.
There
was
were
one.
two. There were two.
He got subbed out in the second. I think the Knicks, at the time that he got subbed out, the Knicks were up 40-36. And then as soon as he put Randall in, it was like he ripped off two turnovers off the bat. And I was just like, dang, man, you have Obi playing so well. And the minute you put Julius Randle in, he does something that completely blows up anything we were trying to build. So that was the first time. And then, the second time, team was going on a run to kind of extend the lead and really take over that game. You saw Tibbs sub Randall in again. And it was kind of shocking to me that he subbed Randall in, because when I first saw it, I only saw Cam at the bench. I only saw Cam at the table ready to sub in. And then once, I forgot who committed the foul, but the foul was committed. And then we saw Cam and Julius Randle come in at the same time. And I was like, wow, Obi's playing so well. And now is the time that you're going to try and put Julius Randle in to kind of close this moment out, especially when you're seeing that the team has been playing, outstanding basketball with Obi out there on the court. So that to me was a little bit frustrating. It's more Tibbs being Tibbs. But I'm happy with the way he played. You look at what he was able to do. He was able to knock down his shots, his stats for the game. He was a 3 or 4 from the field, 3 or 4 from the 3-point line, total 9 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds. So he was grabbing rebounds as well. That's something that a lot of people have been pointing out, the fact that Obi, he's been leaking out too much at times and not battling for the rebounds. And he did have a moment there. He did get called out on it. He was getting ready to leak out and didn't box out. And the Jazz were able to secure a long rebound.
Wally called him out on it, which is good.
Definitely, yeah. But, outside of that, you saw it was a solid performance from Obi. So I just hope tonight, if things start to go, in his favor, that Tibbs would allow him to get a little extra minutes out there.
Man, I was shocked that he would sub him out at that time, because Obi and IQ together was sparked the Knicks taking the lead.
Mm-hmm.
They were the reason. So taking him out, it was a gamble on Tibbs's part. It could have gone bad. It almost did a little bit. It got a little tight there.
It got a little dicey.
Trying to find this one tweet that someone pulled out about that Obi.
Oh, the run
combo. The run, yeah, that run. I think it was a Tommy Beer one. God, man, this guy tweets a lot.
Hey man, you gotta make love to the algorithm.
You do. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. We're gonna have a good show. We had a great show last night.
Yep,
it was a really good stream. We talked about the 5 games that were coming up, and we actually thought we could steal last night's game. And then, with no Joker, Joker's not playing. And Aaron Gordon, it looks like he may not be available as well. So now we're going to catch that lucky break, which we needed on the second half of a back-to-back. This is a brutal back-to-back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
When we were looking at the schedules, we all mentioned that this was going to be a real testing point for the Knicks, and to see what type of season we were going to have, if we were going to be able to power through and get through this stretch with the first 10, 15 games with a solid record, or if we were going to stumble and potentially have a coaching change. And we've kind of been, straddling the fence so far.
So far, we have. Well, I can't find that right now, but so interesting thing is that I wonder, Fournier used to play in Denver. I wonder, since it's a back-to-back, do you think you'll see some floor time tonight, or even in Grimes as well?
Well, they made a big deal about them shortening the rotation. I think it would kind of spark some kind of feedback from both fans and the media if they go against that now and kind of open up the rotation, especially if we will look so good against the Jazz. I mean, they even asked Tibbs earlier if they expect Grimes to be sent down to the G League to get some additional minutes. So I don't think we'll see Fournier or Grimes. I think they'll stick to that shorter rotation.
Really interesting, because I was thinking that we might see at least one of them.
Well, honestly, if it depends on how RJ looks, because they've mentioned RJ being under the weather. So if he's looking a little bit better, then we probably won't. But if he's still looking fatigued, which he did last night, then maybe you're right. We might see Grimes or Fournier. Hopefully it's Grimes, fingers crossed.
He did look fatigued. I mean, RJ, when he went to especially in that second half, because you know how it is when you're not feeling that great. You may have like a burst of energy that first quarter. You come out, got some hops, all that. Once you sweat it all out, there's like not much energy left.
Yep.
Got to hand it to him for gutting it out. But a lot of times I was thinking, wow, why don't you just like get Grimes in the game right now with RJ struggling the way he is?
Yeah, but, I mean, you really saw it on that play when Olynyk was able to chase him down, almost beat him in a foot race, and he blocked the shot, but they got called for the foul. But you saw it, RJ just didn't have any pep in his step. There's no reason Kelly Olynyk should be, running you down in transition.
Absolutely, and if there is a player that cannot lose even a little teeny bit of pep in his step, it's RJ.
It's RJ, yep.
The man is like right at the borderline. He has just enough to get to
get it done.
Yeah, just enough. Let's see who we got. Let's see Brandel Perez, Geraldine, Lex the Destroyer. Great to see you, brother. We serve 100 people. Great mods. Appreciate the support, man. Cheaps Ahoy, what's up?
Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, here we go. Randall had some rough turnovers. That's like you could start that every game as a commentary of every game.
Pretty much.
He was overthinking with getting other players involved. It looked forced. Tried to live by what was probably said at the players' dinner. Possibly.
Well, on one turnover, he was a little too nonchalant, not even trying to get players involved. Remember, he was bringing the ball up and they got stripped from behind.
Yeah,
and everybody on the court was frustrated.
Yeah, even he was like, ugh. But it's like, bro, there could be someone behind you.
Yeah, get your head in the game.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that just makes me insane. But he did not have such a good game, which is pretty interesting. I mean, he was a -12 in his plus minus for that game.
Worst on the team too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, worst for the starters. Yes, yeah. Actually, we confirmed that. What was the most impressive thing for you?
Most impressive Cam's performance. I mean, we saw in the previous game, Cam, had a solid performance, but it was a losing effort. Now we see Cam have a solid performance, and his team was able to come out with the victory. And you saw how he can be disruptive defensively, staying in front of his man and also playing those passing lanes. And we saw the offense. He can attack the basket. He can knock down the three. He can do a little bit of everything. So I think, I've been saying time and time again, I think Cam should have been inserted into the starting lineup the day he got here. I feel like he's one of the only players on the team that has those physical attributes, 6'8", long wingspan, athletic, can shoot, can create off the dribble, can finish. So he can do a lot of things out there on the court. And we're finally seeing what he can do now that Tibbs is being forced into playing him extended minutes. So I hope it can continue. I hope he can continue to get comfortable with this team. And hopefully he'll be a long-term piece moving forward.
Absolutely. Oh, so I did confirm, yeah. Randall was the worst on the team with a -12, the whole team. And the best on the team was his understudy, Obi Toppin.
Obi.
Plus 23. An IQ of plus 18. Outstanding, man. Outstanding. What did you think of, thank you, Papa Gun, here, Sims' performance?
I think Sims was solid, I liked what I saw. He was hustling out there, the athletics. He's jumping off the TV screen. I mean, that one putback, you know what I sent you after I saw it on his effing head, man. That was ridiculous. That got me up out of my seat. You saw how high he got at. He literally threw it down on him. I was like, wow, it was literally ridiculous. Down. Yeah. I was like, oh man, Sims is crazy. But you saw the rebounding. He had he had double-digit rebounds. I'm not sure what the exact total was. What was it? 13?
Yes. Yeah, he had a double-double.
Yeah, he had a double-double.
13 rebounds.
And, it was kind of making me, rethink what this center spot is going to look like in the future. Because if he can continue to play like that, he's going to definitely have to be inserted into the equation. Because I think a lot of what he was able to do out there kind of, adds to what we get with a Mitchell Robinson. So it'll be interesting to see how Tibbs is going to, handle those minutes at the 5 when Mitch does return.
Yeah. Tibbs likes him a lot. He's always spoken very positively about him. Doesn't have that kind of like little backhanded compliment kind of vibe that he has sometimes with some players. He's very straight about it. It seems like he's also getting more comfortable. He's starting to dribble it a little bit. And I want to see him do the fake handoff and just take it to the rim and just smash it down on somebody. I want to see him do that. We've seen him do it in the summer league.
Summer league, yep.
Yeah. And tonight there's no Joker. There's no Joker tonight. Mm-hmm. So there's not. I think what do they have? They have DeAndre Jordan, but I don't think he plays that much. MPJ can block shots, but he's
not really known for his defense.
Yeah, he's not known for that. So it's I'd like to see him continue to grow in that way. I see Brandel Perez has an interesting comment here. Let me get this guy up. Anyone notice at the end of the first quarter, they showed Randall on the bench and he was away from the team huddle with his eyes closed and his hands together, praying, meditating, shaking my head. He's been doing that to try to center himself. I don't know what he's trying to do, but it seems like he's trying to center himself.
He definitely had an episode when he got whacked in the head. I forgot what quarter it was, but he was just in a crouch position like he was about to spaz out or something.
Oh, yeah. He got hit in the head pretty hard.
Yeah.
It was like an elbow coming down on him. Actually, it's good. I want to talk about that. You saw that video of I forgot which coach was it? One of the assistant coaches, or was it assistant coach? I don't know who it was, but it was whispering in his ear,
chanting to him.
Was it chanting? Was it picture your safe place, or think about the ocean, or I don't know what it is to calm him down?
I mean, if that's what he has to do to get prepared, so be it.
Yeah. I'm not. It's not a critique. I'm just wondering if you notice that, because I noticed something when they went to Minnesota, to Minneapolis to play. I tweeted this out and we talked about this. It was church quiet in that arena, and Randall hit 5 3-pointers in that first quarter. Remember that?
Yep. And
then when we think back, the one season where Randall actually connected on his 3-point shots in his entire career was the empty arena season.
2,000 fans.
Yeah. Wonder if there's a direct correlation with a rambunctious, loud audience and his shooting inefficiency.
Well, that's something that people have said time and time again, not about Randall specifically, but they say a lot of guys look great in gyms, when there's not necessarily the pressure of having tens of thousands of people, chanting or booing you and things like that. You kind of tense up when you have that amount of pressure. So that might have been why we saw Julius Randle play so well 2 seasons ago. The fact that there weren't a bunch of fans out there, and it was almost like it was just a, pickup game at the gym with NBA officials there. So different environment, maybe that, attributed to him being able to knock down the threes out in many. But I think there's something behind that, definitely.
Yeah, I think there is. I think there is. I think he's diagnosed that there is a connection, and by him just trying to stay centered, not let his thoughts get. Well, I don't know what's happening in his head, but whatever it is, he's trying to stay focused. That's what it seems like, and quiet in his mind. Maybe that's what all that smiling is about. Though it annoys everybody when he's not playing well.
Yeah, and with what Brandel said, I didn't see that moment at the end of the first, but I did see a moment from somebody that was at the game that was kind of recording, and there are some instances where he's just completely not engaged in the huddle. He's standing off by himself. I'm not sure if he's doing some more meditating at that moment, but it's interesting, especially when you have him calling group meetings and things like that. He's not actually up in the huddle.
Yeah,
it is what it is, though, I guess.
It is what it is.
The team isn't complaining. Who will be to complain, right?
Yeah. I guess we could go off into this whole other tangent about whether they should Thibs should just make the move right now and start Obi over Randle.
It's hard to envision him doing that, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what scenario would you say, all right, outside of, God forbid him getting hurt or something, what scenario would really present itself where you would say, all right, we're going to start Obi Toppin over Julius Randle and be able to sell it? You'll be able to sell it to the fans, but the media is going to kill him. You paid him this massive extension, and, while Obi was already on the roster, and now you're going to bench him to start Obi? They get crazy.
They do, but, we live in the real world. If you have a guy who's better than the guy who's doing the job, you get the guy who's doing it better. You put him in there. You give him more minutes. Like, these other issues are just like, I don't know what other fan base it's. First of all, we didn't draft Randle. Randle didn't win us a chip. It's like he's like, what is he got? He got us one win in the first round of a playoff game. That's it, and he didn't even get it for us. It's like, what is it that we owe him? We're paying him money.
$100 million. That's what we owe him. That's why we got to keep him in the starting lineup so we can get value when we ship him out of town.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think, like, if they did the benching?
Well, what are we going to get for Fournier now? It's hard for me to see us getting anything of value for Evan Fournier after we done benched him.
I know, but that's the thing. That's why they should have gotten rid of Fournier during the summer. But whatever. Yeah, in the offseason. That's neither here nor there now. But it's going to come a time. It's going to come a time where if things go the way they keep going, it's going to be very difficult to keep Obi off the court. And if you don't want to play them together.
Well, yeah, that's what I would envision Tibbs playing them together, longer stretches than just seeing him bench Julius Randle and then play Obi. Because if he benches Julius Randle, he loses Julius Randle. Tom Thibodeau's done for. That's another thing you have to take into the equation. Tom Thibodeau can't lose a guy like Julius Randle. We've seen he can be a wild card as is. So if Julius Randle is no longer on Tom Thibodeau's side, who's really going to be that voice in the locker room to, hold him down and try to help him get through this storm?
Yeah. It may have to take something, an unfortunate situation like, a little touch of COVID. Julius, just chill for like 5-6 games, and then Obi just boom. Obi replicates what he did at the end of last season, and then the conversation is going to become very interesting and difficult. Thank you. We survey 100 people. New York Knicks starting 5 tonight. It's the same. Jalen Brunson, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Hartenstein. What was your take on Isaiah's game last night?
Well, it was decent. He was in a lot of foul trouble. He didn't really do anything to me that really stuck out. I think he was solid for the most part. I know he bricked a three. I was like, yeesh. But with the way Sims was performing, I was thinking, hey, Sims might start eating at that guy's minutes.
Hey, when Mitch comes back,
Yeah, that's a realistic conversation you gotta have.
Yeah, because Isaiah was brought here for the 3-point shooting, and the playmaking. He hasn't been given that chance. He hasn't been put in that role, where he gets the ball at the top of the key, and he basically fills the Joker role, where he just sits there. He's like the lighthouse, looking for who's available, who's cutting, and get him the ball. We saw a little bit of that in the first couple of games, but really, I haven't seen much of his playmaking in the past, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yeah, now he's just Floatenstein.
Floatenstein.
Yeah.
And the corner three hasn't really been there.
Yeah, it hasn't materialized
Consistently.
He's shooting like sub 20% from three, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. Yeah, it's hurting. We're gonna go through some stats too recently that the Knicks have been putting up. Here we go. Now we have Denver Nuggets starting five: Jamal Murray, Contavious, MPJ, Jeff Green, and DeAndre Jordan. Jamal, Contavious, and Michael Porter Jr. and Jeff Green can all shoot that three.
Mm-hmm.
And Contavious is actually having a decent year right now from the 3-point line. And Michael Porter Jr. is just crazy. It's crazy how good he can shoot, man. It's tremendous. So let's get to these stats here. Was there anything else you wanted to say about the game?
No, not enough. We got through most of it. RJ was sick. Julius Randle was a turnover machine. Oh, Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was a beast. Michael Conley was fooled. Conley was fooled. Anytime Brunson saw him, it was like, all right, I got to go to work.
He looked like a buffet to him, man. He's like, I'll take some of this. Thank you, Mike. Thank you some of this.
Everything. Threw him in the post. Got by him with ease. Finished with both hands. Hit the midi. Hit faders. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
Brunson in the clutch too when we needed those buckets, and right after you said it too, after you said that voice note saying this is Brunson's time, this is the time we paid him all that money for. He showed up.
Yep, he showed up. That's what it is for fourth quarter moments like that, especially against smaller guards. He should be able to do that. He like a Darius Garland. He should be able to do that against a guy like that. Even Donovan, Mike Connolly. Brickbrook, he could do it. He could do it on Friday against Curry. Like he can be a nightmare for Curry. So it's just against those bigger guards, the SGAs of the world and Halliburtons and stuff. Then you have to rethink your strategy. But I love that he understood that, okay, this is my time to do this, not from an ego standpoint, purely from this is what we need to do to win. He came in, he was just kind of like hammering down the coffin with each little spin move, each little up and under, putting the Utah Jazz into the ground there. I was really impressed with his fourth quarter. 12 points he scored in that fourth quarter. Let's look at some stats, guys. Let's see here. So I pulled out the last 3 games because I wanted to see what was happening. What are the more recent trends? I'm going to make this bigger for everybody. Okay. And I see we are being hidden. There we go. So this is filtered by points per game. So in the past 3 games, Jalen is leading the team with 22.7 points per game. And second is Randall with 20.3. RJ's third, 17.3. Cam Reddish, 16.3. And Emmanuel Quickley is currently averaging 15 points per game in the past 3 games. He's the one that really popped out at me as we go through these stats. And that is so encouraging, man. Because we've talked about this. That we need an IQ who's making his buckets.
See, you're a Quick fan, so that popped out to you. What pops out to me is the fact that Julius Randle's the leader in minutes per game over those 3. But meanwhile, he's shooting what is that? 46.5% from the field, 26.3% from the 3-point line. Meanwhile, you got Obi, who's only averaging 18.4, and he's shooting 55% from the field and 50% from 3. Come on, let's be serious. What are we doing here?
I know. Well, that's the thing. That discussion of the Obi Randall situation is going to become a major issue. It's going to be. If Obi keeps playing like this, he is popping. He's literally popping. He's leveling up. He could become, one of those like top tier power forwards in the game, but he's being held back. And lack of minutes is killing it.
George, you go to extremes. I never said he was going to be a top tier power forward, but at least reduce some of Julius Randle minutes and let's play Obi some more to see what he can be.
Exactly. That's what. But I think we're kind of like suppressing it, by not giving him enough minutes. And by we, I only mean Tom Thibodeau. That's the only we here. Hey, shout out to the chat. What's up, Entertainment? What's up, brother? So look at this. This is the field goal percentage. Jericho finally missed a shot. He hadn't missed a shot. I didn't even realize it. Mike Breen,
they only took 12 up until that point.
Yeah. He's still balling, man. But look at Obi, 55.6% from the field. In the past 3 games, these are all past 3 games, I says right there. Isaiah Hartenstein is 52.9%. Cam, 52.8% overall on 12 field goal attempts, which is nice. And even Brunson, 51.1%. So we've got in the rotation, well, we have to count Sims as well. 5 players in the rotation that are all shooting over 50% from the field.
Last 3 games. So
the offense is not the problem.
Quick's not too far, too, at 48.5.
No, look at him, 48.5. Now, let's look at the 3-point percentage. Obi, the past 3 games, is 50%. And for the year...
volume, too.
And with volume. And for the year, he's at 42.5%, I believe. Or maybe even be higher. But look at Quick. 46.2%. The guy, our guy, Emmanuel Quickley, is finally starting to connect from long range.
George, when we drafted those two, did you ever think there'd be a moment where Obi would be averaging more 3-point attempts per game than Quick?
No. Never. But you know what? He came in to the league with the ability to do it. He just never did the volume. I mean, he shot 40% his last season at Dayton. So it was just a matter of whether he was going to get the opportunity. But he looked terrible those first 2 months of his rookie year for a 3-point line. Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, he couldn't even hit the corner ones. I mean, the corner ones are like a gift. But other than those two, everyone else is struggling from the 3-point line. And that's why we've been losing games.
George, why is Randall shooting the most threes on the team?
Because he's fully as Randall, man.
That's nuts.
Yes, that's great. 6.3. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I think it was that Minnesota game, he got off to, he was doing great and he just got into the flow of it and then just kept launching, but they weren't dropping. Our guy, Derrick Rose, 25%. He's struggling a little bit from the 3-point line now. His shot was looking short last night.
Yep. And it's crazy because he started off on fire from 3. I mean, of course, you expected it to come down a little bit, but he's really doesn't look as confident shooting that 3 right about now.
Nope. And the the guy was putting up the second most amount of 3-point shots is RJ Barrett, and he's only making 1 per game for 20%. So with RJ and Randall taking 11.3 shots per game and averaging around 23%, there's literally no hope for a victory at this point. So
we got one yesterday.
Yeah, I know, and we only hit 34.4% yesterday.
Yeah,
but we had a better distribution yesterday. Let's see. Randall took 6. Reddish took 5. Barrett took 5, which he missed all 5. Toppin took 4. Quickly took 6. So at least it was spread out, which is nice. But yeah, that was pretty troubling. What they want to show is the per 36 stats to put into context how good Emmanuel Quickley has been and how good. Well, Jalen Brunson, he'd be averaging 26.9 per 36, but look at Quick, 23.1. That is sweet. He's really what do you think what's happening with Quickly in the past couple of games, 3 games offensively? Do you believe that that's just he might just drift back to kind of where he was, or this is possible? Like, can he keep replicating this?
I think he can continue to build upon it, because when we see Quick playing well, he kind of has that swag to him, and I saw some of that last night when he was able to knock down some shots. We saw a little bit of the showboating and the gallivanting after he was able to make some big plays. So I think it's something that he can continue to build upon. I think previously you said, or not you said, but I think in the stats he's been shooting right around almost 40% from the 3 in the last 3 games.
In the last 3 games, he is shooting 46.2% from 3-point.
46.2%. So the fact that his 3-point shot is falling, I think, really is what helps open up his game offensively. I mean, we've seen what he's been able to do defensively and how he's been able to step up his game on that side of the court. But once his 3-point shot is falling, it has forced defenses to kind of play him a little bit different and kind of run him off that 3-point line. And then that'll open up his in-between game a little bit, that floater, try to get into the rim and try to finish it a little bit better. So I think that's something that he can continue to build upon.
I hope so. I I have put so much faith in him, and it's been challenging because he hasn't been shooting that great this year, especially him. But his defense has been outstanding. There was a tweet put out today by Knicks Analytics, Anali Knicks. Interesting tweet. He tweeted out, or she, highest total plus minus for any Knicks since the year 2000. Emmanuel Quickly, 476, and the team's record is 79-77 during that period. The next number 2 was Steve Novak with a plus 424, and that team's record was 84-51. Now I think that must have been the Melo. Was it Melo around?
Yeah,
that period. And Linsanity.
Did that overlap?
I think that might have been in that space. Because he didn't say it in tweet, but I'm thinking Tyson Chandler, the next one, with a plus 392, and the team's record was 183 during that stretch. And it says IQ has been a plus minus savant for New York despite playing on a middling team. And then he went on to talk about all his other stuff down below about it. And that, that meets the eye test in terms of his performance. And look at him now, just in the past 3 games, his plus minus, there it is. He leads the team, 8.3.
8.3.
Yep. Obi's
look who's at the top though, the youth.
Yes. Yeah. The youth. We've been crying out for this. Our belief, the best thing about this is that our belief in the youth of our team is coming to fruition here. They're proving. They're making us look good, actually, Quis.
Tibbs is making us look good because he refuses to play them. So now when you actually look at the numbers, hey, there's something to actually point to.
Totally. Look at now, and ironically, the worst starter in the plus minus, not ironically, should I say, Julius Randle with a -3. Oh boy, that's interesting there. All right, let's head back over here. So any interesting takeaways in general from any of that?
I think I said all my interesting takeaways when I was watching it, because I saw it for the first time like everybody else viewing it. So the things that popped out to me, I just kind of blurted it out. My bad if I stepped over you.
No, not at all.
All right, cool.
I found that thing we were talking about when Julius Randle left the game with 3 minutes left in the third. The Knicks were 76. The score was 76-80. The Knicks would then go on a 25-11 run. This happened in 9 minutes. This is from Nick Take. But then Thibs brings Julius Randle back in the game. And the Jazz go, it's a 17-20 run. So the Jazz chip away 3 points to end the game in 6 minutes. So that's what it was right there. That's how you see how the plus minus. That's why the plus minus actually it's a legitimate stat. It's just sometimes it is a total distortion.
Yep. Yeah. Depends on how it's used.
Yeah. Bones Highland is on the court in uniform.
Oh.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to go for the Nuggets, but
Well, they
not
got a
starting.
bug going around over there, something.
Might be. I mean, I caught something, and my son said at his school in Santa Cruz or something going around. So yeah, beware out there, everybody. It wasn't that fun.
As long as they don't go shutting us down again.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got hey, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. What's up, D Nice? Let's see. Would you make Obi the number one option?
It depends on who he's out there on the court with, but overall on the team, nah, there's a few people that fall ahead of him.
Yeah.
Brunson, you still have ahead of him in that pecking order. RJ still ahead of him in that pecking order when healthy.
Yeah.
Who else? I probably have Cam ahead of him in that pecking order too.
There are times I think he could grow into it. That's the kind of thing. What we were just talking about. Like he might. I feel like we've got like we are impeding his progress in terms of being able to really explode. But we'll see. I don't think he'd be the number one option at the moment. But he
now on that second unit, should we run a little bit more set plays for him to try to get him some good looks? I'm open to that. I think that's more realistic when you're talking about being number one options.
That's definitely on the second unit. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. We see here. Thib said you have to earn minutes. What's up, Adrian Reality? What does Obi have to do? The best shooter, plus minus rating, and on and on. I told you that, Randall. Well, what he did is he helped Thibs win Coach of the Year. That's what they helped him. You know, without that, I don't think he would have. Without the way he played that year, there's no way Thibs wins Coach of the Year. If you're new in the chat, just drop a mention there where you're from.
Yep.
Let's see here. Check into the chat. I'm looking at it. Fullius. Lex loves that. I love it too. I think it's hilarious. Isn't there we go. You think we're gonna win tonight?
Do I think we're gonna win tonight? I think we have a shot. You know, we got a lot of guys out. Joker's not out. That's gonna be big. I think that's a big equalizer right there. Who else is out again? You said
Aaron Gordon.
So yeah, those are two big pieces for the Denver Nuggets to be missing. So I think this is probably the best opportunity we would have in order to beat them, because you know Joker, he's always an MVP candidate whenever he's out there on the court, and you already see what bigs that can shoot have been able to do against us. We've seen what Joker was able to do against us last season. So the fact that we don't have to keep an eye out on him, because imagine Hartenstein guarding Joker. He's already having difficulty guarding the bigs out there on the perimeter. So imagine Joker. So I think we have an opportunity, a shot to win this game.
Shout out to Joshua Morales.
Salute.
Thanks for joining us. Jersey from New. I was born in Jersey, Hackensack.
Oh, you're from Hackensack?
Yeah. Well, I lived there for 3 days in the hospital.
Oh, copy.
And then went to Queens. Hence why I'm a Mets and Knicks fan. Let's see what else we got. Let's look at the matchup. Here we go. We are. Okay. Ooh. So the game, it says starts at 7 p.m. That's because it's West Coast time. For here, it's going to start at like a regular time for me, for you guys. But I live my life as if I'm on the East Coast, mostly because of this channel. Well, see, the Knicks. The records are Knicks are 7-7. Denver's 8-4. I believe Denver has the second best record right now in the West, and fourth overall in the entire NBA. So this, if Joker was playing, this would have been a really tough game to win. Yep. In terms of actual league rankings comparisons, the Knicks are 11th in the league right now with 114.9 points per game scored, but Denver is 6th with 116.3. And in terms of points differential, Denver is 15th, right smack in the middle with a 0.6, and we are 7 slots below at minus 1.5, 22nd in the league. But we're 17th right now for assists per game, which for this franchise, for this Tom Thibodeau team, that's a big jump Man, last year we were last. We were 30th.
What did we average? 20 a game last year?
Yeah, something like 20. There were times when we were below 20. Remember making
17,
remember making the graphics? Last 10 games was like 19.2. It's like, wow.
Depressing.
Yeah, so I'm glad that the ball movement is happening. And that's the thing is, the pace has picked up. So that's I'm really happy about the assists per game. But Denver with Joker, they average 28.6 assists per game. So that's going to be interesting because, well, they have Jamal Murray, so he's going to pick up that playmaking slack. That's for sure. But it's going to hurt them not having Joker.
Definitely.
No doubt. In terms of steals per game, we're pretty close. We average 7.1. They average 7.4 for 21st and 17th in the league. Blocks per game, we are 4.8, and we're missing Mitch. That would be higher if we had Mitch out there.
But my guy Cam is picking up some of the slack, though.
Yeah, he's making some nice blocks. And who else had a nice block last night? That was iHeart. Yeah. So the only category we lead in this comparison, well, we lead the blocks per game, and we lead in rebounds, 47.1. But we're missing Mitch, which is a big part of our rebounding, and they are missing Joker. So who knows what's going to happen with the rebounding right now. So what's your feeling in terms of like what we're actually going to see out there on the court tonight?
I'm interested in seeing what the defensive matchups are going to be. Is Cam going to be the one that they're going to put on a guy like Murray? Are they going to use him more on MPJ? Even though I'm pretty sure they'll have Randall probably guarding. He'll probably guard Jeff Green, and then so I want to see who's guarding Murray. That's what I want to see. So because if it's going to be Brunson,
I think it's Brunson.
Might be a long night.
I think it's Brunson. Wait, because we have Brunson will either cover Murray or Contavious
or KCP.
Yeah, either one of those is going to be a tough matchup for Brunson defensively.
Maybe you put him on. Maybe you put Brunson on KCP. You put RJ on a guy like MPJ, who might not be as quick as Murray, and then you put Cam on Murray.
You could, yeah. I think you might see variations of that. Them try different to see what works. Because I mean, it's not a good matchup for us in terms of with if RJ is still not feeling that great, if he's still kind of like dragging a little bit, because he needs to have that high energy for him to be able to cover an MPJ. Because you definitely want to have Cam out there kind of trying to slow down Jamal Murray. So I think that's how it's probably gonna end up being like that. They'll try that first, and if MPJ is going off and lighting it up, then maybe they'll switch Randall onto him, and RJ could keep up with Jeff Green, even though Jeff Green's pretty big.
You really want fast. Randall on MPJ though? The way he's closing out.
He's been terrible. Yeah, I know, but he wants to be he wants to be better. I mean, we're gonna hide. We got to hide Brunson and hide Randall on the court. That's rough.
You don't have to hide him per se, but you don't have to put him on a talent like MPJ, especially when Jeff Green's out there.
So it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tough offensive, even without Joker. We have some tough matchups.
That's why Tibbs gets the big bucks. It's up to him to game plan.
That's right. But the other option is if we're getting scorched like that, you bring Obi in a little earlier as the small forward and let Cam slide over to the 2 spot. So RJ sits, Obi takes over RJ's minutes. If RJ's getting cooked, because it's very possible,
he's a little under the weather.
Second game of a back-to-back. Denver's even higher altitude than Salt Lake City, and I've been in Denver, and it matters. You're by nighttime, you're just like, whoa, what's going on? So this is a late game for them. So it's possible we might see some of that. Let's see, we got any interesting comments here in the chat? Hey, we got almost 100 people. It's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you guys for joining us in the late night edition here, live stream. Cheers to everybody.
Salute.
Excuse me, you want to shout anybody out?
Yeah. Shout out Lexus Destroyer, always holding it down. Appreciate the support. D Nice, he says, I like OB. Cam gets hurt too much, but if Cam can stay healthy, Cam is the man. Yeah, I think Cam can continue to keep up this high level of play and avoid being injured. I think that even the last injury was kind of like a freak injury. It's not like something happened to him out there and his body failed him. He got clipped, went down hard, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh my God! Don't even say that word around Cam. That would be the worst thing to see for him. He's finally really settling into his role and starting to really grow. And I don't want to see that happen.
It'd be like Grimes all over again because the same thing happened to Grimes last year.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're still dealing with him in bubble wrap. So,
hey, you know what? Let's talk about Grimes. Let's talk about Mr. Grimes. What is the deal with him?
I don't know. Like I said earlier, they're talking about sending him down to the G League for him to get some playing time. To me, I don't know what's going on. He was a little bit too injured to get any serious minutes against Atlanta. He was quote unquote situational, but now they're finding situations where they can use him in the G League where the minutes don't really benefit us. I think long term. I think if he's healthy and can play, we should find minutes for him in the rotation. I mean, I'm not saying it has to be a strict 9-man rotation, or I guess it was it was about 9-man. How many people did Tibb use last night? It was 9, right? 2 centers, and he didn't really use any other person off the bench, any guard off the bench other than Quick and Rose. So yeah, I feel like we can still get minutes for Grimes out there.
And we saw some small ball last night.
But he was forced. That was only after iHeart had 3 fouls, and that was after Sims had 3 fouls.
Okay. So we got a prediction here. D Nice, it's a back-to-back. So I will say it's a loss, but of course I'm looking for the win. Back-to-backs on the road, especially against a quality team, it is going to be a tough game to win. But it's possible that they can win this game. I think if they play with the same effort that they gave last night, they replicate that tonight, they can win this game. Yeah, they'll be in it. Which is basically what happened. You ask. Yeah, which is basically what happened. They kept giving decent effort, kept sticking around. Jazz were trying to pull away, and then IQ and OB came into the game, and boom, we had a 10-point lead in that fourth quarter, and then Brunson came in, or he was part of that. Brunson was part of that run, and he helped just bring it home. So I think it's possible they can replicate it, which just happened last night. And we talked about this before. Sometimes if you play right away, it's easier to replicate positive results. Got here. Hey, Kareem. I'm from South Ozone. Hey, where's South Ozone?
Is that Queens?
Is that Queens?
I think so.
I
gotta Google that.
Ozone. Oh, Ozone.
Right, Ozone Park.
Ozone Park.
That's Queen of Brooklyn.
I didn't know that they designated it like South or North. I didn't realize that. To me, it was just Ozone Park when I was a kid. Yeah. I lived in Regal Park. That's when my first actual conscious thoughts that I remember. I was in Regal Park.
All right, cool.
Right near Left Rack City. Man, that was it was nasty back then.
Regal Park's not too far from where City Field is right now, right?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah, they're actually building a soccer stadium over there now.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Really cool.
We got so many stadiums in New York. It's nuts.
Yeah.
They just built UBG, and now they're about to put a soccer stadium next to City Field. And it's crazy because I think it's going to be for the New York Football Club.
It is.
But they're owned by the Steinbrenner family, no?
I don't know.
I think they're owned by the Steinbrenner family, and now they're going to be moving and they're going to be encroaching on Mets territory. I don't know how I feel about that.
But it's soccer.
I don't care. Get out of here. Go find something else. Get out of here.
Well, we got the
that
U.S. Opens over there, and I mean it's
U.S. Open is cool. Steinbrenners don't own that.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like the Steinbrenners? Yeah.
No.
Stay away from our hood. Yeah.
Yeah. That's our stomping grounds. Thank you.
It's our stomping grounds, man. I sure miss that food in Jackson Heights, though. Man, that's some good stuff back when I was a kid. All right. I think the game is going to start pretty soon, everybody. This has been a great stream. Love the chat. I've been reading the chat. It's been some great comments.
He wants to hear you drop F-bombs, George. Oh, George, you froze up.
Post game. Yeah, I'll probably do another live post game. Oh, my camera, I think, just blinked. Did you see that?
You kind of froze up on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're back.
All right, good. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, Lex and Destroyer, thanks so much for holding it down. And we survey 100 people. Excellent mods. Love you guys. Adrian Reality, great to see you, man. Crow Noir, David Piccolo, Joshua Morales, thanks for joining. He's our new member. It'd be awesome. Teddy White, are you guys staying on when the game starts? Want to hear George dropping 10 F-bombs? It'd be fun to do a watch along one day. We'll have to figure out when we can do it.
Got to be a weekend game.
A weekend game. That sounds great. Let's see. Is the game started? Oh, no, here it is. Not yet. No, any late. Yeah, Aaron Gordon and Ish Smith along with Nikola Jokic are all out.
All right. Bodes well for us.
Man, the Nuggets. They did lose to Boston, but they've been kicking people's asses. They beat the Pacers 122-119. They beat San Antonio in back-to-back games. Not that that's a big thing, but then they dropped the game to the Celtics and then beat the Bulls 126-103. The Bulls are an odd team.
Yeah, very
odd team. Jamal Murray, he's one of my favorite players. I haven't gotten to talk to him much because he's been injured almost the whole time since I started this channel. But the Nuggets were one of my favorite teams 2-3 years ago. I really thought they were going to make that leap, and then Murray got hurt, and they've been waiting for him to come back, and now he's here. So they're going to make a lot of noise. They've been playing some great basketball, and then they got Aaron Gordon there.
Yep,
he was a great addition.
Yeah, definitely somebody that can help them out. Was a good ring defender.
Yeah, I was surprised that trade really worked out for them.
Well, it only works out till they win a championship. Till that is just
But like when the Magic blew up that team, they sent Vucevic to the Bulls, and and then they sent Fournier to the Celtics, and then we ended up with the worst of those of the three.
Right. Somehow we got routed to us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I think Fournier's.
What are we gonna do with Fournier? That's the question. Where do we go from here?
This is what I'm thinking about. What's going to happen with Fournier? We'll talk a few more minutes before the game starts. Fournier, and I tried to mention this before. Fournier has probably played the most amount of basketball of anyone on the team in the past 2 years. There's a lot of mileage on those legs. He's a class act. He understands. He looks at things from a point of view that he can deal with this better than most people can. I don't think this is going to hurt him at all in any way. Is it frustrating? I'm sure it is. But there will be a time where Fournier will get another chance. And if he starts connecting again, starts making a few buckets, he can become that three-point sniper that comes off the bench, plays. If he's shooting 42% from the three-point line, and that's all he's got to worry about, and he's going against second units, he's just cooking them. He averages 10, 12 minutes a game. He does that for like a month. Immediately you trade him.
Get him out of here.
It's good for him. Get him somewhere where he can contribute to a team. He is a class act. He's a good guy. He's a tremendous three-point shooter, and he makes difficult three-point shots. And that ability has tremendous value in the playoffs, Quis.
Yep.
How many times have we seen a playoff game decided by a crazy, almost insane three-point shot?
Look at that shot he hit at the buzzer. Well, what game was it? 2-3 games ago?
Yeah, just 2-3 games. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And he did it against the Celtics last season. I think he's just a little tired. He's trying to figure out his role. His defense is suffering. So imagine the tired, and it's going to hurt us.
His defense is suffering. George, was he better defensively?
No,
last
exactly.
season?
Well, that's what I mean. He wasn't even a good defender.
Yeah, defense is suffering. The defense is the status quo. Not good enough.
Terrible defense. So that's what I'm hoping. That's my best case scenario.
Adrian, reality says it says that contract is hard to trade. I don't think it'll be hard to trade. Maybe in this season it'll be hard to trade, but next season when he's only going to be in an expiring deal, I think there'll be a little bit more suitors to move him.
By the trade deadline, there's only a season and a half left.
Yep.
So I think it actually has some value to it. It's not that much. What, does he make $17 million a year?
Something like that.
Yeah,
right.
That's not a crazy amount for a sniper like him. He's like a Bogdanovich. He's like one of those guys.
But those guys play better defense.
They do. But in terms of the offense,
he's what's the guy in Miami? Duncan Robinson, like those guys.
Duncan Robinson. Yeah. Who that guy's really hurting right now. He's not playing well at all either.
Mm-hmm.
What is the Miami Heat? I was watching them earlier. I was watching a bunch of games earlier. It was interesting. It's interesting. The Knicks offense looks really good. It's for real. They just gotta tighten up that fucking defense, man. They tighten that shit up.
Started.
Yeah, they're starting.
That's how you know the game is on.
Yeah, but we all know it, right? We know that if they tighten up their defense, because last year our offense was just atrocious. Same thing with the season before. That's not the story this time. So let's hope this is the beginning of something good. I'd love to steal this game, go to Golden State on Friday, and who knows what can happen.
If we win tonight, I think the Tom Thibodeau's seat is a lot cooler. I think the chances of him making it through the road trip are a lot higher if he's able to start, the road trip off with 2 wins in a row.
Oh, for sure.
Regardless of how we play in, I think in the next few games.
This could be the game if they win it. That spares him at least a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Remember that happened right around the All-Star game last year. He won a few games and it kind of gave him a little bit more freedom.
Yeah, and that was around the time that Worldwide Wes went to James Dolan and said, "How do you feel about us letting go of Tom Thibodeau?" And he said, "You do what you guys got to do.
It's up to you." Yeah,
he gave them the okay, and but because of those
little
wins,
them. So Leon Rose had to go and get his little committee and say, "All right, everybody, pick up straw."
Yeah. Oh man. Well, the Nuggets already hit a 3-pointer.
Oh,
all right, we're gonna go. We'll let you guys watch this game. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is George. This is Quis. Please follow our channels. We try to do pregame shows for every game. Every game we try. Check out Quis's. You want to talk about the Sunday streams?
Yeah, we have the Sunday stream. Stephen Fox and I, we discuss Knicks, everything that's going on during that week and in the future regarding the squad. So if you want to be tuned in, make sure you are subscribed to Sports Vibes TV and you have the notification bell turned on and set to all.
There you go. All right, guys, let's go. Let's get this game, and we will see you around the Knicks-Verse.